On Delta TV main news tonight, Governor Sheriff Oborewore suspends Delta State Polytechnic Rector. Nigeria Governors Forum institutes bill for reserved legislative seats for women. House Committee summons Accountant General over contract infraction allegations. And abroad, Ireland heads to the poll to elect new president. Good evening and welcome to Delta TV Main News. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. I am Blessing Usiagbada. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has approved sweeping changes in the leadership of Nigeria's armed forces, a move the presidency says is aimed at strengthening the country's security architecture. In the new appointment announced today, General Olufemi Oluyede takes over from General Christopher Musa as the new Chief of Defense Staff. Major General W. Shaibu is now the Chief of Army Staff. Vice Marshal S.K. Aneke becomes Chief of Air Staff, while Rear Admiral I. Ibas becomes Office of the Chief of Naval Staff. The Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General E.A.P. Udeindeye, however, retains his position. President Tinubu commended the outgoing service chiefs for what he described as their patriotic service and dedicated leadership, urging the new appointees to justify the confidence reposed in them. He further charged them to uphold the professionalism, vigilance, and unity that define the armed forces of Nigeria. According to the statement, all appointments takes immediate effect. The state governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewore, in his capacity as visitor to the Delta State Polytechnic Ogwashku, has approved the immediate suspension of the institution's rector and bossa for a period of 6 months. He also upheld the earlier suspension of the registrar by the Polytechnic's Governing Council. A statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, SSG, Dr. Kingsley Emo, explained that the suspension of the principal officers is to allow for a thorough and unbiased investigation into allegations of administrative misconduct and financial breaches leveled against them by the Governing Council. The statement further directed that the Deputy Rector shall act as Rector during the 6-month suspension period, while the most senior accountant in the Bursary Department will serve as acting bossa for the same duration. The State Governor, Honorable Sheriff Oborewore, has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to working closely with the Church in advancing the state's sustainable development goals. Speaking in Bomadi during a mass to mark the 70th birthday of the Bishop of Bomadi Catholic Diocese, Most Reverend Dr. Hyacinth Egbebo, the governor, represented by his senior policy advisor, Honorable Funke Keme Solomon, described the Church as a vital partner in social and moral development across Nigeria. Governor Oborewore noted that the prayers and support of the Church are crucial in making governance more meaningful and urged continued collaboration through prayers, sound counsel, and community initiatives. He commended Bishop Egbebo for being a fearless voice for the voiceless and highlighted key infrastructure projects in Bomadi, including the completed Ohoro Bomadi and Tamigbe Tolugbene roads, as well as the ongoing Ayakoromo Bridge project, which he said is nearing completion. In his homily, the Bishop of Warri Diocese, Most Reverend Anthony Ewerido, reminded the congregation that life is a gift that demands gratitude and accountability. The celebrant, Bishop Egbebo, expressed appreciation to the governor for his developmental strides and assured him of the Church's continued prayers for the success of his administration. The Thanksgiving Mass was attended by top clerics, including the Archbishop of Benin Ecclesiastical Province, Most Reverend Dr. Augustine Akubeze, and representatives of the Bayelsa State Government. The Nigeria Governors Forum has pledged full support for the bill seeking to reserve legislative seats for women across Nigeria. In a communique issued at the end of their meeting earlier today, the governors urged their members to actively lobby both federal and state lawmakers to ensure the passage of the bill, which aims to amend the 1999 Constitution. The proposed legislation seeks to create special constituencies exclusively contested by women in both the National and State Assemblies, a move expected to temporarily boost female participation in governance and decision-making. The forum also commended the federal government's ongoing fiscal reforms, particularly those led by the Central Bank of Nigeria, describing them as crucial steps towards stabilizing the national economy. In the same vein, the governors reaffirmed their support or their commitment to addressing Nigeria's growing security concerns. They pledged to work closely with the Department of State Services to tackle emerging threats and strengthen security coordination across the country. The National Economic Council, NEC, has approved a comprehensive roadmap to grow Nigeria's economy to $1 trillion by the year 2030. The decision was reached during the Council's 153rd meeting held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The session, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, was attended by President Bola Tinubu, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, top federal lawmakers, and several state governors. Presenting the roadmap, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, outlined key strategies to strengthen macroeconomic stability, enhance security, and deepen cooperation among the three tiers of government. The Council approved 6 major resolutions, including regular briefings on economic stability, enhanced infrastructure collaboration, and the creation of a NEC Committee on Security Investment Mobilization. It also expanded the mandate of the Ad Hoc Committee on Crude Oil Theft to cover illegal mining and solid minerals in a bid to curb revenue losses in the sector. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, who chairs the committee, told journalists that Nigeria's crude oil production has risen to 1.7 million barrels per day, up from about 700,000 barrels before President Tinubu took office, citing improved surveillance and collaboration with oil-producing states. In his report, Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Bayo Lawal, announced Nigeria's latest national accounts balances. The excess crude account stands at $535,823, the stabilization account at 87.6 billion naira, and the natural resources account at 141.5 billion naira. In a related development, the Council also approved the President's proposal to revamp security training institutions nationwide. A high-level committee chaired by Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State and including 6 other governors has been given 1 month to assess facilities and recommend interventions. Similarly, the National Economic Council has appointed the Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba, as chairman of a new committee to overhaul training institutions for security agencies across the country. The decision was reached at the 152nd NEC meeting held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, where the Council endorsed President Bola Tinubu's proposal for a comprehensive reform of securing training facilities nationwide. Other members of the committee include the governors of Kaduna, Ogun, Taraba, Akwa Ibom, Zamfara, and Nasarawa states, Uba Sani, Dapo Abiodun, Kefas Abu, Umo Eno, Dauda Lawal, and Abdullahi Sule, respectively. Our former Inspector General of Police, Baba Usman, will serve as the committee's secretary. President Tinubu, while addressing the council, stressed the importance of improving the conditions of training facilities to enhance the performance of both trainers and trainees in the nation's security system. The committee has 1 month to submit a comprehensive blueprint for the renovation and modernization of all security training institutions, in line with the President's commitment to reforming the country's security sector. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Procurement has given the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation 7 days to respond to allegations of contract infractions between 2023 and 2025. During a public hearing in Abuja, the committee also demanded explanations over delayed payment to contractors who had completed their projects. Chairman of the committee, Representative Honorable Onyime Idem, said the lawmakers reviewed documents from the Accountant General's office and discovered several inconsistencies that need clarification. He revealed that while the office received a capital allocation of 337.5 million naira in 2023, it awarded contracts worth 678 million naira, exceeding the approved budget by about 340 million naira. Among the projects under scrutiny are contracts for training on the federal government treasury portal, data cleaning of the IPPIS database, renovation of the IPPIS roof, and refurbishment of elevators at the Treasury House, all allegedly without proper approval in violation of the Public Procurement Act of 2007. The committee also questioned the award of over 145 million naira worth of vehicle supply contracts to Kojo Motors Limited, as well as the engagement of insurance brokers for assets across several federal pay offices. Responding, the Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Shamsuddin Ogunjimi, asked for more time to address the issues. He explained that some directors involved in the transactions had been redeployed, making document retrieval difficult. Mr. Ogunjimi admitted that some agencies awarded contracts without budgetary provisions, which he described as a clear violation of due process. He, however, assured that efforts are ongoing to ensure that all contractors who have completed their jobs will be duly paid. The federal government has fixed uniform prices for housing units under its Renewed Hope Estate program, aimed at making home ownership more accessible and affordable for Nigerians. The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development announced the new pricing structure in a statement signed by its Director of Press and Public Relations, Badamasi Haiba, in Abuja. According to the statement, the approved prices are one bedroom semi-detached bungalow, 8.5 million naira, two bedroom, 11.5 million naira, and three bedroom, 12.5 million naira. The ministry said the adoption of uniform prices across the country is designed to promote affordability, transparency, and fairness, ensuring that Nigerians in all regions benefit equally from the Renewed Hope Housing Program. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, explained that priority will be given to low and medium income earners, civil servants, private sector workers with verifiable income, and Nigerians in the diaspora. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Shaib Belgore, added that several payment options have been provided, including full payment, mortgage, rent to own, and installment plans to make ownership more flexible. The ministry also disclosed that sales of completed housing units across the northern and southern regions will begin soon. Applications can be submitted through the Renewed Hope Housing online portal at renewedhopehomesfmhud.gov.ng or at the ministry's offices nationwide. With the Renewed Hope Estate program gaining ground, more Nigerians may soon have a place to call their own. The federal government has launched a new initiative to empower teachers across the country with subsidized mobile devices and free data access to enhance professional development and classroom teaching. The program, unveiled by the Federal Ministry of Education, will benefit 8,000 teachers in its first phase, running from December 2025 to July 2026. Implemented with support from the UK-funded Partnership for Learning for All in Nigeria, the initiative is part of the government's push to promote digital education through the Education Public-Private Partnership Framework and the National Digital Learning Policy. Speaking at the Ministerial Roundtable on Zero-Rated Data and Devices for Nigerian Teachers, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, described the project as a transformative step towards building a digitally skilled teaching workforce for 21st century education. Dr. Alausa said the scheme underscored government's commitment to bridging the digital divide by giving teachers the necessary tools to improve learning outcomes. He added that participating teachers will enjoy free access to government's e-learning platform and other accredited resources through zero-rated data made possible by partner telecommunication companies and internet exchange providers. The minister also acknowledged the financial challenges teachers face, noting that expecting them to fund their own data cost would be unfair. The federal government has expressed serious concern over the alarming rates of school dropouts in Nigeria revealing that about 24 million pupils who enrolled in primary schools failed to reach senior secondary level. Minister of Education Dr. Tunde Lausa made the revelation in Abuja during a ministerial roundtable on zero-rated data and digital devices for Nigerian teachers. Citing data from the digitized Nigeria Education Management Information System, the minister said that out of 30 million pupils captured from 21 states, only 6 million made it to senior secondary school. Dr. Lausa described the figures as scary, noting that the government is now focusing on evidence-based interventions to reduce dropout rates, especially among children from disadvantaged backgrounds. He explains that the NEMIS platform is a web-based system that provides real-time education data to support policy decisions, similar to systems used in Kenya and Sri Lanka. According to the minister, the biometrics for all school children are being uploaded onto the platform to aid proper tracking. He added that from 2026, the annual school census will be fully digital, eliminating the use of paper records. Dr. Lausa also disclosed that over 60,000 tablets have been distributed to pupils in Adamawa, Oyo, and Katsina states under the ATEC and BETSDA programs, with another 30,000 devices expected soon. He further announced the introduction of smart boards in public schools, saying the aim is for every classroom in Nigeria to have one by 2027. The minister thanked UNICEF for its technical support and President Bola Tinubu for providing political and financial backing for the digital education initiative. The executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukayede, says the commission has recorded unprecedented achievement in the last 2 years. Mr. Olukayede made this known in Abuja during a media briefing to mark his second anniversary in office. Represented by the Director of Public Affairs, Commander C.E. Wilson Owujare, the EFCC chairman said the agency recovered over $566 billion, $411 million, 71,000 pounds, and 182,000 euros, alongside 1,502 non-monetary assets between October 2023 and September 2025. He also announced that the Commission secured 7,503 convictions after filing over 10,000 cases and investigating more than 29,000 petitions. Among the recovered assets are 753 duplexes in Lokogoma, Abuja, and Nok University in Kaduna State, now renamed the Federal University of Applied Sciences, Katai. Part of the recovered funds, he said, has been channeled into national programs such as the Student Loan Scheme and the Consumer Credit Scheme, with 100 billion naira invested. The EFCC boss also highlighted ongoing prosecutions of former governors, ministers, and top officials, as well as the arrest of 792 suspects involved in investment and cryptocurrency fraud, including 192 foreigners. He added that the Commission has established a task force on naira abuse and dollarization to curb illegal currency practices nationwide. Mr. Olukoyede emphasized that the EFCC's achievements go beyond figures, reflecting the agency's dedication to transparency, accountability, and improved national welfare. The president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, Mr. Chidi Adegbu, has warned that the naira could face another round of devaluation after the 2027 general elections, citing the federal government's rising debt profile and continued borrowing. Mr. Adegbu, who is the 50th president of ICAN, made a statement at the maiden colloquium and public lecture at the Department of Accounting and Finance at Godfrey Okoye University, Enugu State. He said excessive borrowing by government poses a major threat to economic stability, lamenting that reckless loan policies during the previous administration continue to affect investor confidence. Mr. Adegbu cautioned that despite recent stability in the exchange rate, sustained debt accumulation could trigger another currency crisis. Meanwhile, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, has also expressed concern over Nigeria's rising public debt, which has climbed to 152.4 trillion naira even as the country's rebased gross domestic product increased by 41.7% to 372.8 trillion. LCCI President Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, speaking at the Chamber's quarterly State of the Economy address in Lagos, urged both federal and state government to practice fiscal prudence and ensure that borrowing is tied to productive sectors and measurable economic returns. He noted that while the rebasing has lowered Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio to about 39%, the nation's debt servicing costs remain high, limiting its fiscal flexibility. Mr. Dahosa also commended the Central Bank of Nigeria for slightly reducing the monetary policy rate from 27.5 to 27%, but warned that without fiscal discipline and structural reforms, the gains of current economic policies might not be sustained. Today, Nigeria joins the rest of the world to observe World Polio Day, a day dedicated to raise awareness about the fight against poliomyelitis, a disease that can cause lifelong paralysis. World Polio Day, observed annually on October 24th, commemorates the birthday of Dr. Jonas Salk, the American scientist who developed the first polio vaccine in 1955. In Nigeria, the day serves as a reminder of the country's commitment to keeping children safe from the disease. Although Nigeria was certified free of the wild polio virus in 2020, health authorities continue to push immunization campaigns to prevent the spread of vaccine-derived polio virus. The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency says vaccination remains the most effective tool in protecting children across all states. The End Polio Now campaign has significantly reduced polio cases globally by over 99% since 1988. Health experts stress that sustained vigilance is essential to prevent any resurgence. As Nigeria marks World Polio Day 2025, the message is clear. Every child must be reached, every community protected, and every parent informed until polio becomes a disease of the past. The state government has fixed tomorrow for the monthly environmental sanitation exercise. The exercise will hold across the state between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. A statement signed by the Director of Public Communication and Functioning Permanent Secretary, Mr. Harold Orji, said vehicular and human movement will be restricted during the exercise. The statement said residents are directed to clear overgrown weeds, sieve drainages, and ensure that surroundings are clean to prevent flooding and the spread of diseases. The Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Jamani Ejiro, alongside officials of the Waste Management Board, the state government has fixed tomorrow for the monthly environmental sanitation exercise. The exercise will hold across the state from 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. A statement signed by the Director of Public Communication and Functioning Permanent Secretary, Mr. Harold Orji, said vehicular and human movement will be restricted during the exercise. The statement said residents are directed to clear overgrown weeds, sieve drainages, and ensure that surroundings are clean to prevent flooding and the spread of diseases. The Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Jamani Ejiro, alongside officials of the Waste Management Board, local councils, and other agencies, will supervise the evacuation of refuse to designated dump sites. The government warned that defaulters would be prosecuted before mobile magistrate courts and fined accordingly. You're watching Delta TV Main News. Still to come, Ireland heads to the poll to elect new president. Details of this story and many more will come after this short break. Please stay tuned.
Uche!
Sir?
Don't go collect the goods we pay for. No carry nonsense, come back here.
Okay, my Oga.
Uche! Go buy me oil filter. Go buy from Pascal, no? Hey, he go cheat you.
I don't hear, Oga, I don't hear.
I go call you back. Hello, Johnny? I beg you, get radiator. Okay, my boy, they come your shop now, come collect them, eh? Uche!
Oga, I don't go Pascal again, no.
Go to the shop now. Uche! Go to the boy shop, come bring a filter.
Free on Glow Talk Master. Talk for 6 minutes and get 6 minutes free. Plus 50 megabytes of data. Free. Dial star 606 hash. New customers also enjoy a welcome bonus.
This one when they flash me like before. If I say things don't change, oh.
Now where I don't get Glow Talk Master, eh? I go dey call you go fear. I go call you tire. You go tire. Put your where you dey now.
Sir, you register your Glow SIM, abi?
Glow Unlimited.
If tanker wey carry fuel fall or pipe wey carry fuel for underground burst, wetin you go do? You go begin bail fuel put for your bucket, or you go run comot far for where the fire go soon come. Na only small time you get to take this wise decision. Waka comot, no, that one no dey enough. Shift, no, that one no dey enough. Stay there dey gist and take pictures with your phone. That na madness. Run, yes, run comot. Yes, your life depend on wetin you do. The fire go come at once and you no go fit control am. Why? Petrol dey catch fire easily. Why? Na just small spark go start big fire. So no stay there dey think. Run comot quick to save your life. No throway your life away because of say you wan pack petrol. Take this advice. This informate na from Public Enlightenment Office, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned to Delta TV Main News. Now the news continues. The global scene is next as we join our world news desk.
Ireland has gone to the polls today to elect a new president in an election marked by controversy and limited choices for voters. Left-wing independent candidate Catherine Connolly is widely expected to defeat her centrist rival Heather Humphreys of the Fine Gael party following the withdrawal of her third contender earlier this month. That candidate, Jim Gavin of Fianna Fáil, dropped out after facing questions over unpaid rent, though his name remains on the ballot papers. Connolly, a 68-year-old barrister and long-serving parliamentarian, has gained strong support from left-wing parties, including Sinn Féin. Her campaign went viral online, featuring a football juggling video and podcast appearances that boosted her appeal among young voters. Her opponent, 62-year-old Humphreys, a former cabinet member and member of Ireland's Protestant minority, has campaigned on unity and experience. But the race has been overshadowed by growing frustration over the limited fee, the smallest since 1990, prompting some conservatives to urge voters to spoil their ballots in protest. Polls opened at 7 this morning and will close at 10 tonight, with official results expected late tomorrow. If Connolly wins, she will succeed 84-year-old Michael D. Higgins, who has served as Ireland president since 2011. Ivory Coast heads to the polls tomorrow as President Alassane Ouattara seeks a controversial fourth term in office. The 83-year-old leader, who has ruled the world's top cocoa-producing nation for nearly 15 years, says he is running to consolidate what he calls a record of strong and consistent economic growth. However, critics accuse his government of silencing dissent and manipulating the political system to stay in power. Ouattara faces three challengers: two former government ministers, and ex-wife of former president Laurent Gbagbo, who analyst says remains the clear favorite. Two major rivals, Gbagbo himself and former Credit Suisse CEO Tidjane Thiam, were barred from contesting. Thiam has dismissed the vote as a coronation. A former IMF deputy managing director, Ouattara has overseen an era of rapid economic expansion and political reforms that critics say undermine term limits. Government spokesperson Patrick Achi insists the president's record of growth and stability speaks for itself as Ivorians prepare to cast their ballots.
Welcome back home. Now let's join our business news desk for stories on business and the economy.
The Naira maintained relative stability at the official foreign exchange market today, but continued to trade weaker on the parallel market. At the official Nigeria foreign exchange market, also known as the investors and exporters window, the US dollar was quoted at about 1,460 naira to a dollar, marking a slight dip from levels seen earlier in the week. However, in the parallel or black market, where cash transactions are common, the dollar traded between 1,495 naira and 1,515 naira, with some dealers in Lagos reporting sales as high as 1,515 naira to a dollar. This places the street average around 1,500. Analysts said the difference between the official and parallel market rates reflects ongoing challenges of dollar liquidity and access to official supplies. They note that recent interventions and policy measures by the Central Bank of Nigeria have helped to stabilize the official market, even as demand for cash dollars keep parallel rates elevated. Market Watcher says attention will remain on the CBN's weekly foreign exchange turnover, possibly fresh interventions and global dollar movements in the coming days. In summary, the Naira stands at 1,460 naira to the dollar officially and around 1,500 naira per dollar at the parallel market.
Let's join our sport news desk for happenings in the world of sports.
Nigerian Super Falcons have taken a commanding step towards qualification for the 2025 African Women's Cup of Nations after defeating the Benin Republic Amazon 2-0 in Lomé, Togo. The 9-time African champions were in control from start to finish, with both goals coming in the first half of the encounter. Chiwendo opened the scoring early in the game, finishing off a clever assist from midfielder Deborah Abiodun. Esther Okoronkwo then doubled Nigerians leading before halftime. Head coach Justin Madugu, who handed Taiwo Afolabi her Super Falcons debut, and saw veteran defender Osinachi Ohale make her 80th appearance, praised his team discipline and teamwork after the match. With the victory, the Super Falcons carry a 2-goal advantage into the return leg, scheduled for Tuesday next week in Nigeria.
Now, our thought for the day. Do not watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. Now let's bring you a rundown of some of our major stories. The state governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewore, in his capacity as visitor to the Delta State Polytechnic Ogwashuku, has approved the immediate suspension of the institution's rector and bursar for a period of 6 months. He also upheld the earlier suspension of the registrar by the Polytechnic's governing council. The Nigeria Governors Forum has pledged full support for the bill seeking to reserve legislative seats for women across Nigeria. In a communique issued at the end of their meeting earlier today, the governors urged their members to actively lobby both federal and state lawmakers to ensure the passage of the bill, which aims to amend the 1999 Constitution. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Procurement has given the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation 7 days to respond to allegations of contract infractions between 2023 and 2025. During a public hearing in Abuja, the committee also demanded explanations over delayed payments to contractors who had completed their project. We also reported that Ireland heads to the poll to elect new president. That ends Delta TV Main News. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Blessing Usiagwada. Have a restful night and enjoy the rest of your weekend.